about her 27-year-old son, Josh, a type 1 diabetic.
My son couldn't afford the life-saving medication he needed. He had insurance through his job.
Even so, his prescription cost him $1,200 a month, more than his rent. So last year, he switched to a cheaper, over-the-counter version.
The switch caused a shock to his system.
Within months, he died.
As a mom, I feel like it's my fault.
Millions of Americans are struggling with the same terrifying problem. According to new data from the CDC, more than 13% of adults don't take their insulin as prescribed because it's too expensive. 24% have asked their doctor for a cheaper prescription. Now, states like Colorado are taking action. This summer, the governor signed the first law to cap the price of insulin at $100 a month for patients with insurance. Other states, including California, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania, are also considering laws to rein in prices.
This is a crisis for the diabetes community. If a person rations their insulin, there are going to be immediate consequences that can lead to deadly complications.
This grieving mother, now an advocate for others, so they won't have to endure the pain she lives with every day.
Every day is different, and you don't know where you're going to end up that night.
Navy veteran Tommy Zerhelen has been focused on one more step. From Oregon,
I'm here in what they call the high desert.
To Iowa.
Happy July 4th, happy Independence Day.
Michigan.
Now we're officially at 2,000 miles walked.
All building to this moment on Friday.
I feel nervous, seeing all my friends for the first time in a long time.
Walking back into his hometown. 2,860 miles from Portland, Oregon to Poughkeepsie, New York. Each step in honor of his fellow veterans, raising money and awareness.
22 veterans a day take their own life in America. And even perhaps worse, 40,000 plus veterans are homeless in America every night.
After spending 6 years in the Navy as an engineer, Tommy thought he understood what it was to be a veteran. But after becoming the commander of his local VFW service organization in Poughkeepsie, the college professors started getting calls from all kinds of former military.
That experience really opened my eyes as far as mental health and homelessness matters. So I wanted to do something big.
6 pairs of shoes, 3 walking sticks, and 2 hospital visits later, Tommy reuniting with the veterans he walked for.
I have so many people supporting me on social media and just, back home that I never felt alone once. So thank you so much for just being there for me out there.
Cutting through half a century of neglect, what's been called a national treasure and vast outdoor museum, slowly being rediscovered.
I feel very connected to the earth and to my heritage here.
A historic burial ground called Evergreen, here since the 1890s for thousands of prominent Black Virginians. But through the decades, their accomplishments, like this place, hidden and forgotten.
Standing here in the middle of all this, it's hard to imagine that more than 20,000 souls are laid to rest here. Doctors, lawyers, soldiers, African-American heroes of their time.
Liza Mickens' great-great-grandmother, Maggie Walker, was the first woman of any race to open a bank in America in 1902.
How does it make you feel being out here?
It's really powerful for me. She really was able to accomplish more than I've ever even dreamed of.
It's all a stark contrast to a nearby memorial ground for heroes to the Confederacy, cared for and maintained by the state of Virginia for nearly 100 years.
Go home!
Just in the past 2 years, amid national confrontations about monuments to the past, has Virginia, with the most Confederate statues in any state, begun to spend public money to preserve places like Evergreen.
We've evolved, we're more mature as a society, and I think we're ready to deal with this history.
Ready to count down?
In fact, the state even recently unveiled a statue to Maggie Walker in Richmond, once the capital of the Confederacy. It's all very inspiring to her great-great-granddaughter, who has often been out here with those volunteers.
I think that it truly is a treasure to Richmond, but also to the nation.
A huge piece of history no longer ignored.
104 days in space, orbiting the Earth more than 3,000 times. But it's what she allegedly accessed while up there that may have her in trouble back on Earth.
I was shocked and appalled at kind of the audacity of her to think that she could get away with that.
The accusation comes from a bitter divorce and custody battle. Estranged wife Summer Warden saying McClain used a computer on the International Space Station to access her bank account. The pair has been fighting over Warden's 6-year-old son. In a statement on Twitter, McClain says there's unequivocally no truth to these claims. We've been going through a painful personal separation that's now unfortunately in the media. Her attorney told the New York Times the astronaut did nothing wrong and was only checking the family's finances like she had in the past. NASA's Inspector General is now investigating.
There's no question that a U.S. court, if a case is brought, would be able to exercise criminal jurisdiction over an American citizen. But it does open up the broader questions because there will be cases in the future that are not quite as simple.
It's not.
Nature happened.
We didn't want it to happen. Bruce and Julie took their kids to the park last week. After other recent encounters with bison, they were hoping to avoid a close call.
We were totally judging people that were getting too close. We were like, look at these people.
But on their trip, it suddenly became clear, oh my God, a rumbling stampede was headed right for them. Don't. All they could really do was brace for impact.
The only thing we could have done different is like went to Disney or something.
Do you have it recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Then came Bruce's realization.
I can't believe we didn't take the insurance.
A big repair bill, a small price to pay for an encounter with a herd of wild animals wielding enormous power. Steve Patterson, NBC.